Welcome back. Today I'm going to be working a bit more on the ZX6R Ninja to see what the problem is for the starting. A couple of things I've done off camera. First of all is I've taken this old plate off, which is not going to pass an MOT, and got an MOT legal license plate on the rear. I've also fitted a battery, and as you can see down the bottom here, I've got paddock stand bobbins put in. It's allowing me to get the rear wheel off the ground so I can see where all the things are kind of binding. The biggest news is because I fitted a battery, I was able to go through and test all the electrics. So with the key in, I do have all my lights, including my brake lights on front and rear. I also have my main beam, my indicators all the way around, even though this one's slightly damaged. And I have my horn. So in theory, I should be good for the MOT. So of course, once I tested all the electrics, the very next thing I did is I hit the starter. Put a bit of fuel in, hit the starter, and the bike did kind of run. Got a bit of a clip of that because I was too excited to actually record it properly, which I'll play for you now. However, since then, it's now not starting because I think something got gummed up or there's problems in the fuel. Oh, sorry. I think it's got gummed up and there's problems in the carburetor or the fuel filter. So today, I'm going to hopefully take off the tank, have a look around and see where the problem could lie so I know what to get and replace. And that's where we are. So let's bring you in and we'll start about seeing to get the tank off. Actually, what I might do just quickly is show you what I mean by it's starting. So you'll see when it starts to suddenly backfire, which means some fuel's getting through, but not a lot. So I've got the choke on, hit the starter, turns over, the fuel, the oil pressure light goes off, but you see you get that bang, which makes me think some fuel's getting through, but not enough, or the right ratio, something's going wrong, it's collecting down there, spark backfires out. So I think that's all carb related. To get to the carbs, tank's got to come off. So that's where I'm going to start. So from what I understand, to take the tank off, I have to remove the directional turny bit of the fuel tap, because otherwise it won't go past the frame here. So that's what I'm just about to do. It's a Phillips by the looks of it, or a JIS. This is actually a JIS screwdriver, so I'm hoping that's going to come out nice and smoothly. I've got it set to off. So there we go, that all comes out. And now that should flow through past the actual frame. Next up, from what I can see, is it should be these two here and these two here. And then we shall see what kind of piping needs to be disconnected to make everything work. Right, this is then a drain that, for all intents and purposes in my case, just drains into the battery tank. So I'm just going to pull it out there. And then let's see what happens when how much slack do we have to lift off. So if I lift up this slightly, you should be able to see just here. Right. But lifting up slightly here, you can see that this is where the hose went to the fuel filter. So I'm going to try and disconnect this here. Then I should be able to lift the tank out and put it somewhere safe. Okay, that's the tank that came off. I actually forgot to record lifting it off, but as you can see, I just slipped out the fuel line feed into the fuel filter. And there's a lot more space underneath the tank than I was expecting. So what I'm going to check out next is what the air filter looks like, so I can start seeing into the carbs. But it does mean with an external fuel line, should be able to do a lot of the carb syncing with no real issues. And I like the fact that you can get the tank off without having to take all the fairings off. So for me, next job is take off the airbox, I think, and have a look what's underneath. Now, there is a mixture here of different size heads on mine. These are 8s around one side, and those two look to be 10s. There we go. Right, that's the airbox off, and the first good news I got is this filter does not look damaged or horrendous. A little bit of particulate matter, but the inside looks relatively clean, which is exactly what we're hoping for. Okay, so as you can see, the slides all come back at seemingly quite a nice even place, so I'm hoping the carbs aren't terrible, they're just a bit dirty. So, in the world of optimism, going to pop that in there. Let's just go with a bit of... Let that sit for a second. What we'll also do is we will sling on a jump pack so we've got plenty of battery, and let's see what happens. Not a sausage. I was kind of hoping the carb clean would make it spark off. Ooh, a little bit of backfire. Almost kind of starting, but not quite. There we go. So I've definitely got spark. I think the problem is I'm going to run out of fuel from whatever's in the carb bowls soon. I may need an exterior fuel line to test with. So what I'm thinking about now is I think I've probably sprayed too much carb clean down there. Needs to soak and dry out a bit. I also think I'm probably running through whatever fuel is in the float bowls and everything there. I am considering what I may need to do is remove these float bowls here and clean out the jets, because you can hear it sparking, backfiring, and I have a feeling what it really needs is a good carb clean by taking that all apart. So rather than wearing out the starter, what I'm going to try also is, because I can see here, let me remove my battery. Can you see that? Yeah. So my fuel filter is now dry. Now I think I need to put in more fuel into the carbs. So I think even when it's sparking off and doing a couple of little skips and jumps, it's not enough. So for now, I think I'm going to hold. What I think I might do is come back with an external fuel line off of Amazon, and then see if a little bit of the carb clean stuff is soaked through enough that I can get everything kind of going. All right, so what to do now? I think because it's firing off of the carb clean, I think there is spark and all of that's going through, and it was running before everything clumped up, which means it is a problem in the carburetor fuel part of the delivery service. Now, I now know that I probably run through whatever fuel was sitting in the float bowls. It's probably drained and got gunged up. What I'm wondering is if I hook up an external fuel tank, will that slowly pull through enough fuel to kind of clear whatever mess is in there, or the spray that I've sprayed down it is going to seep through and clear out whatever's issues are in there. And that's where I'm kind of thinking right now is, do I spray a bit of carb cleaner into the fuel line area here so it kind of sits, let that sit for a while, get an external fuel tank hooked up, or do I just go the whole hog, remove the carbs, take them apart, give them a clean? I think that's a question for next time, because I'm going to call it before it starts raining, I think. But that's where my mind is for now. If anyone's got any better suggestions of what to do, let me know. But I think for me to get this running, I've got a feeling it's going to need to be an external fuel setup so I can get access to everything while I'm going. So that's an Amazon order for tomorrow. And then if that fails, I think it's going to be taking the carbs off. All right. As I say, anyone got any suggestions, let me know. Otherwise, thanks very much. Cheers.